Hello, everybody. Since the Dawning is by far my favorite favorite event in
Hello, dear.
Destiny,
What
I
a
decided I
nice
was going to do a video
surprise.
on it because it is honestly a little bit complicated with all the things that you can do to optimize
You
making
remind
cookies,
me of
which is
someone I haven't seen
clearly the
for a
most fun thing
long,
in the game
long
at this point
time.
in events. So the first thing that you can do is get this ship, the Starfarer 7M, which is from I think 2021. But basically, why this ship is so good is because it has this perk. Whenever you generate a Dawning ingredient, you have a chance to generate Dawning Spirit, which Dawning Spirit is used to buy all of the
Let's
upgrades
see,
here
let's see.
from Eva, and it's also used to focus. So you need a lot of it if you're going to end up grinding this event pretty hard. So that's the first step, and from what I understand, I've already had
Let's
this from
see
previous
what we
seasons, but
can do.
there's another menu on this menu. There's one more where you can buy previous stuff, and I'm under the impression that it's there. So that's the first step. The second step would be there's a quest that you pick up from Eva that I've already finished, but it makes you donate or deliver cookies to each of the vendors across all of the planets. I'd recommend doing this because it makes it so that you bake all the cookies, which after you bake all of the cookies, you can masterwork the oven, which reduce the cost baking cookies. And it also will complete one of the triumphs here to bake all of the cookies or deliver. Step 3 is to basically get all of these upgrades, which it
There's
will
a
take
lot
Dawning
we can do.
Spirit to get. Once you have the ship, you can honestly just play the game until you get enough Dawning Spirit to buy these. There are farms and stuff, which this is the second day of the event, and obviously you can see I have all the upgrades purchased and the Dawning Spirit maxed out. So if you do the King's Fall Golgrath Maze farm, one night, you're done. You got all these upgrades. You don't have to do pretty much during this step you can play the game however you want. You can start working on these objectives so that you can get the title. The most difficult, not difficult, but the most tedious ones are the snowball ones. I think that there's a couple really good places to farm them. It's open world and playlist or strikes is the places where I've found them. Probably dares too. I haven't checked those, so and I'm probably not gonna, just so you know. But that might be a good place to farm them. The best places I've found them so far is because you have to do strikes anyways. Where is the achievement? Because you have to do strikes anyways, you can do it in strikes. Um, or Sorrows of Harbor on the moon. Very, very good place to farm them. It's a very good place to farm everything just because it adds spawn so much while the rituals are going on. Um, all these other ones are pretty self-explanatory and straightforward. And then to guild, I think they're also pretty straightforward too. Snowballs you can do in Sorrow's Harbor, but you just gotta bake a bunch of gifts. Spend on Spirit, so once you buy all the upgrades, you still will have to spend some of it on focusing. And then Dawning Weapons, which... So I made a list of all of the best places that I can think of to get each of the ingredients. There is a lot of double dipping involved too, so keep that in mind. For Vex, you can do the Bunker E15 Lost Sector on Europa. Quite a few Vex in there. You can launch it solo, so good place to farm. For Fallen, you can do the K1 Communion or K1 Logistics Lost Sectors. Both have a lot of Fallen. I like K1 Communion more. I think there's just a little bit more Fallen. Great place for Fallen, I found. Cabal Oil, not the best place either. The weekly mission this week is Downfall, which is the mission where you're going into the Typhon Imperator to destroy the Radial Mast or whatever it was called. The first part of that mission, there is a bunch of Cabal to kill. But if you do it on Hero, there's matchmaking, so the ads will be easy. And if you do it on Legends, it's not as easy. So again, not the greatest spot. The next one is Chitin Powder. Super, the best farm by far. The beginning of Grasp, you can farm the hell out of Thrall. They constantly spawn. Just make sure you don't pick up a treasure and then die to it. Also keep an eye out for the wizards. Taken butter. Not the greatest farm. Not the most interesting farm, but if you get a Golgroth Maze CP, there's a spot on, if you go right, left, left, right, right, you can follow that. There is a pair of Cursed Thrall and a pair of Thrall that will spawn, and you can farm those. They spawn really, really fast. So you can farm those for Jitten Powder and Taken Butter. What do you think I did? If you can make the deduction. And then Dark Ether Cane. The new dungeon's really good if you're running the new dungeon. A lot of scoring. Other than that, Birthplace of the Vile, the part where you get into the room with 2 of the plates that you have to activate. If you start the plates and then leave, they will constantly spawn and you can farm them for ages. And there are quite a few of them spawn, so that's a really good spot for that. One of the best ways to farm Essence of Dawning is getting a Duel Inkaru Shattered Throne checkpoint and running that really quick. Warcliffe Coil absolutely destroys her, and it's a very, very fast farm and gives you 21 or 22 from what I see per run. So what I do at near the end of the event is I pick up all of these bounties, and I cook the cookies that the bounties say. It's a really good EXP farm, and I want to get really, because it's a 7-month season, I want to get really high season rank just to see what I can get to. Really good Bright Dust farm, so we can buy all these cosmetics. And then it's also really good. It's not because you're baking so many cookies, when you go to turn them in, you'll get much more gift and returns. Which you need the gift and returns to farm these weapons. You also need gift and returns to get the mementos. This is my biggest gripe with every single event that they come out with. The only way that you can get gift and return, or the mementos, is by actually opening your gift and returns. It is really, really annoying to me that that is the only way to get mementos, because also the only way to farm the guns is to use the gift and returns. So you essentially have to choose between mementos or focusing weapons to get good rolls. I hate it. It's a event. It's an in-game event. Why can't we just do both? Why when we use a gift and return, can't we have a chance of mementos? They did it with the Lost too. They do it with, and I'm assuming they're going to do it with everything. Very annoying to me. I hate it when I have to choose either one or the other. It's my biggest gripe about this event. Anyways, that's pretty much everything about the Dawning. The memento looks sick, in my opinion. I like it better than the Lost one because I wish that they did this texture with black and it looked like obsidian. Me and my friends were talking about that. If they did the completely black with this texture, I would have farmed as many of these mementos as I could have, but they didn't. So I think this one looks pretty good too. I like the texture on it. I like the color. So I'm going to be farming as many as I can. That's pretty much everything about the Dawning. If I missed something, for all 5 people that are going to watch this video, leave it in the comments. I'll try to update the video or the description. That's pretty much it.